Wait, let me double check and make sure that's the only thing he's done. Because I'm pretty sure that's the only other thing, like, in show business he's done. I really don't understand where these people from the woodwork come out. Like, this guy that played an extra in Cheers thinks he can do Atlas Shrugged the movie or whatever. I don't know what.
An extra in Cheers?
Yes, an extra in Cheers. He didn't even have a talking part.
There's like 10 characters in Cheers.
I know, and he had a massive part in Atlas Shrugged the movie. It's like they didn't accept him. So, I love, like, majority of the characters in this movie are just like, listen to this. Oh, we got Lindsay, Reagan, Ronaldo.
Of course, someone's named Reagan.
Yes, yeah.
Speaking of Reagan,
God! It's sandwiched.
Quote and his voice over the words.
Yeah,
it ends that way as well.
What
is the quote?
It's a sandwiched movie. It's nicely booked together as, wow, yeah, it's just nicely booked together like it was a book, like a story that was told. But the thing is that, we haven't even discussed, like, the weird story that just.
The beginning quote was Reagan, way pre-President Reagan, saying that each generation needs to fight for their freedoms because that's the point of being free.
Well, what was stupid is the fact that
and then the ending quote saying, was basically saying, like, what do you want your kids to remember? That we tried and lost, or that we just stood by and lost? So the whole point of the movie is, like, a call to arms, but, like, very propaganda-styled call to arms.
Yeah.
So it's like with Scarface, like, at the very beginning, it's like, what are you gonna do about it? If you've ever seen Scarface.
Yeah, well, I mean...
Scarface. Not the Brian De Palma one, the 1932
I know what you're talking about. I'm sorry, right now I'm just looking up all these people that are in this.
It seems that this movie had 2 directors.
It did have 2 directors, and it had, like, 2 writers, I think. The sad thing is, like, I mean... Not to mention, like, one of the...
No, I had 1 writer, and it's the director. It was one of the directors.
Oh, wow. But the thing is, it was just, like Travis, like, the phone scene, like, all the phone sequences and stuff. It's like, they make a quick call to each other, and they say, oh, hi, and he goes, hi. And then they say, like, the point of the phone call, and they say, okay, and then they say goodbye, and it's not like a interesting, it's just like a cut from what he's saying to what the other guy's saying to what he's saying, and then the phone cuts, and then the screen just, like, cuts to the next scene. There's nothing really in it, it's just...
That picture's of the director, I believe, unless...
So, where'd Olivia go?
She's right back. Yeah, that's the director, that link I just sent. That midget was in the movie.
Oh, yeah, the midget. I totally forgot it had a midget in it.
Oh, yeah, and since the villain was black, Brandon, every time they filmed the villain, they would quick do a shot of a nice black person just to like, cover their bases that they weren't racist.
Oh, yeah, that was...
They were so manipulative with that footage. Anytime anything happened that was supposed to be good or against the bad, it would quick show at least...
One black person.
I'd say 2 to 3 shots, sometimes 4, of black people getting teary-eyed because they're good Christians.
Well, yeah, but the thing is that every single time they did that, it turned into, like, the fucking Bourne Identity, and, like, the camera was all shaky and shit, and, like, focusing on their eyeballs.
They really wanted to make sure we saw these blacks.
Yeah, but the thing is that these black people didn't have any, like, talking parts in the movie. It was just, like, you know...
So, So, well, before the first climax, what happens is he finally says...
This movie has more than one climax?
Yeah.
Because it doesn't know what the hell it wants to be. And we'll...
So before the first climax, he finally sits down and, like, says the crux of the film. He says what the point is. He's like, look, guys, it's not about Christmas. It's about the freedom. He's like, it's about me. I should be able to do this if I want to. It's not about Christianity. And then I was like, okay, maybe they're going to try and be fair about this. Maybe they're going to say, we just think Christianity is being arbitrarily, like, maybe they're just trying to be more inclusive, more openly inclusive, as opposed to keep it to yourself inclusive. So, like, okay, I'll see where they're going with this. And so the first climax happens, which unfortunately Tyler didn't get to see because I think he was just like tired of. I don't know if you had to pee or if you were just tired of watching. The first time he left for popcorn, this time he's like, I'll be right back. And then what happened was the Christmas tree he put up in the town center thing, or the city hall or whatever, whatever, who cares. They come and they change, and they try to do a cool sequence where they're going back and forth from the Christmas party, but it's really poorly edited and the sound overlaps and it's really messy. So it'll show the party and he's getting a phone call. The whole thing is his partner knows he's getting the phone call and he feels bad, and so he brings all the homeless people from like the shelter to this Christmas party because nobody came. So it's this terrible, like, trying to build up tension, but it's not tense, and it's just jump cuts back and forth from him at the party to these people tying chains around the Christmas tree, and then finally he gets the phone call, and he's like, oh, and then all of a sudden it cuts to the tree being torn down by a truck and driven away.
So it's like Christmas Vacation.
It's just bizarre, and then you see this, like, it looks like a shot from, like, the Dark Knight. It looks like the Nolan one, I don't know if it's Batman Begins, The Dark Knight Rises, where you just see Batman's boots, like, moving from what he was doing. Well, instead of that, you see like this capish giant overcoat of the Hammer, and he turns to the side like that old Batman thing, and then stomps on the angel that was on the top of the tree and, like, shatters it. So they do that, and the guy you came back at this point. I don't remember what happened next, if you remember, Tyler.
About after the angel and all that jazz.
Oh wait, that's it. So finally he's like, that's enough, and he gets all serious business. Goes in his garage and pulls out a giant cross that says Jesus saves, and, like, gets in this truck and he drives to the shelter that they own. They had to make sure, because they're clearly like a wealthy family, so to make up for that fact, they made it so they owned, like, a soup kitchen.
Yeah.
So that he drives to the soup kitchen in the middle of the night, gets on the roof, and all the cops they get really over dramatic. Like, the cops come and there's, like, a giant fire truck saying somebody could fall off that roof, and, like, he's just standing on a roof of a 1-story building, putting up the cross, and, like, the grandson runs up. He's like, "No, stop! It's too dangerous."
I know, and then it's like the police officer. The police officer down there is like, nobody wants to get hurt. It's like
they're standing on, like, a 7-Eleven roof, is what it looks like.
Yeah,
and there's, like, music all loud, and the guy's
like,
yelling,
really blaring.
Yeah, it's.
And the son just climbs up the ladder and is standing on the roof that's floored.
It's
and he's like, "Get down! It's too dangerous." So then he gets on the ledge with him, starts pulling the cross up, and I guess he just changes his mind and lets him help. So then the police, and then this giant biker who was in, like, one scene earlier. Oh, we didn't talk about the scene in the pharmacy.
Oh yeah, that was like one of the first scenes too. It's like he's in the pharmacy because I guess he's a pharmacist or whatever, right?
I thought it was the mayor.
He is, but he has a blue collar job too.
Man, that'd be really nice if fucking our mayor
clarified that he's a part-time mayor.
Yeah. Well, what happened was, he comes, they come in, it's like this motorcycle gang, and they look all like, I guess, tough or something, right? And
keep in mind, there's no music in this scene.
yeah,
dramatic back and forth shots.
So it's like they look like they're gonna like mess with him or something, like just make fun of him and stuff, right? And it's like they show him like they say what's wrong, right? And the big guy, the big stupid one, gets his jacket and lifts it, and there's a blood stain where he's gotten shot. Like he got shot like in the stomach, right? And I'm like, dude, go to the damn hospital.
He's standing there.
And they're like,
just awkward. So he looks at it. So then there's a fade cut, and he's treated it. And first of all, you don't go to a pharmacist.
You don't go to fucking
Walgreens
to get treated for your gunshot.
Well, for what?
Because apparently the guy with a degree in medical terminology knows how to patch up a gun wound. So it's an instant cut from the guy awkwardly. He slowly lifts his jacket, shows him. Oh my god, he's shot in the fucking
gut.
He could be dying. I mean, it's a pretty guaranteed way to bleed out. So anyway, there's an instant cut to after he's treated him, and then he asks, "So how did this happen? I don't want to get any trouble. If there was violence?" And the guy goes, "He was shot
by himself."
And then then the pharmacist stands there, and then he laughs.
And then they all laugh.
And then the big fat guy hugs him for like a whole minute of screen time. And then that's the last you ever hear of the problem.
Yeah, and then the midget hugs his leg.
Oh yeah, which was supposed to be like funny and I guess cute.
Yeah, but he just looked like a circus elf.
So there was no point to that at all, no context, but later the big fat guy gets on the roof with him and helps him pull the cross up, and I guess that was the purpose. He's a big guy to pull the cross. Still is bizarre that they'd have him in a random scene of being shot.
Yeah.
So they put up...
He was shot by himself.
So he puts up the cross, and the hammer comes, and he doesn't do anything. And then the cop, who was his dead son's best friend, has to arrest him, so he tries to arrest him. And so he's sitting in a prison cell, and then this is where the movie's thesis that I said before completely shit itself. Because...
Oh, God. Oh, wow. Here it comes.
Throughout. The first thing I thought was...
Wait, you're breaking up. Could you start from a few seconds ago?
Yeah, I can't hear you, Travis.
Can you guys hear me now?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Alright, so there was random shots of an old man before. There was one, and they didn't explain it, so me and Tyler were what? Like the random dialogue scene early on, and all of a sudden it just shows an old man staring at the camera. Like, okay, well, they never address that again. So when he's in prison, his cellmate is the same man. I'm
Well, he isn't. He isn't cellmates with him. He's in the other cell next to him.
Amen.
And then well, you can go ahead.
So I realized what's happening. I'm like, movie, don't.
Yeah.
Oh, and the guy is sitting in his jail cell and he's upset. So then the other guy, the bearded guy, picks up this little it looks like a bomb detonator, which is a radio. And he plays a broadcast of the high school play his kids are doing, and their kids came up with a plan that they would change the play from the aliens and actually tell the nativity story. So they do that. They've been planning for the whole movie. They wrote an entire script for this play. They rigged things with a janitor to make sure nobody could turn off the lights on them. They go through this whole elaborate scheme. They lock the drama director in a closet. The black.
Oh, I see the reference there.
Yeah.
Yeah, he has to